Cocktail Hour Cinema. Talking drinks and cinema. We watch and eat some dinner, but we don't show you the dinner. It's Cocktail Hour Cinema. Cheers, everyone, and welcome to Cocktail Hour Cinema. My name is Brent.
I am Nico.
And I'm Emily.
We're a weekly video podcast that talks about movies, TV shows, whatever the hell we feel like. And every week, our beautiful Emily makes us a themed cocktail based off of whatever it is we're talking about, which this week is...
Don't look
Don't
up.
Look Up!
Wow, we got to work on that
I looked up.
synchronization.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Whoopsie.
So, do you want to give a brief synopsis of what Don't Look Up
Did
was
you
about?
tell people to like and subscribe?
Oh, like and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, we usually say it at the end. Please like and subscribe. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, social media. We really appreciate it. Anyway.
Behind the scenes, Emily, we're doing a lot more behind the scenes.
Yeah,
and that's going to be
Instagram.
the home for that is on Instagram, and
On the
Emily
gram.
is going to be taking care of all that shit.
Yes. More stuff.
Anyway, this is behind the scenes talk. Emily, would you like to give us a brief synopsis of Don't Look Up?
Sure. So this movie can be summarized really quickly. Don't Look Up is about two astronomers who discover a 6 to 10 kilometer wide comet headed straight for Earth.
Planet killer.
And the entire movie is about them trying to be taken seriously both with politics and the media and to save humanity. That's it.
Nice. Good wrap up.
And in honor of that movie, goodness gracious, this is the Great Butterball of Fire cocktail.
That's going to be a long neon sign.
That's the biggest neon sign we've ever had.
We could just say Great Butterball of Fire. That's
Okay.
that's smaller. It doesn't need the goodness gracious part, but I couldn't resist. So this is a buttered rum type concoction. I added a little bit of pear liqueur, a little bit of ginger bitters. This will come out after the new year, but couldn't resist like having a little holiday cocktail before the year wraps up.
All right. Let's talk about the movie. What are your thoughts on Don't Look Up?
I really, really liked it.
You liked it?
I really liked it.
You
I
really
know.
liked it.
I really liked it. I heard a lot
I
of
think
stuff.
you liked it, guys.
Well, I heard stuff about how like critics didn't really like it, and I'm like, sometimes I think critics are very accurate, and other times I just really don't agree, and I really don't agree with them. I thought this was
It's pretty split, the critics.
yeah, it's a really unique, well done movie. I'm a huge fan of dark comedy though, so this is like right up my alley. I like that. There were some jokes that were really broad. I like that there were some that were actually really subtle and smart. And I know a lot of people don't like how jarring it was, kind of going back and forth, but I thought it worked really well. I actually quite liked it. I thought the moments that they wanted to be jarring to create anxiety, I think they pulled that off. I think they did a really good job of it. And I laughed my ass off, really. I really thought it was a hilarious movie.
Surprisingly funny.
Yeah.
I enjoy this movie because I love and adore end of the world films, especially ones that deal with asteroids and comets, like Armageddon, Deep Impact, are my favorites.
I do too. No, I feel you. I do too.
Because
that's not the genre I thought you were going to bring up.
No.
I love comet movies, guys.
I do. Do you know why? Because they're realistic. It's happened to Earth before. Like alien invasion movies are fun. Like Independence Day, it's a great one. But like Deep Impact and that one specifically, like I remember that. I felt the fear. I felt the danger because that is something that could happen at any time. Probably like realistically, like in our lifetime, like definitely not, but like it could. And that always scared me as a kid. There's another really good movie called Greenland with, have you seen Greenland?
No, I've never even heard of that.
Oh,
I've heard of it. But
Producer's looking it up right now.
Gerard Butler. No. It's a Gerard Butler.
Oh boy. It's
an end of the world movie. It's a comet movie. It's really good. It's actually surprisingly, I loved it. Because
what's the Rotten Tomatoes score? Put that up.
And it's not great.
But that's
well,
okay.
Neither it is
you
for this.
like
I think it's a great movie.
Yeah, here's the score right here. But yeah, you're right. But I enjoy this movie because it was a comet movie for the most part. I thought it was hilarious. And I just honestly, people
it's just tickling me. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Anyway, that's what I took away from it. I'm like, oh great, like an end of the world for me. And I felt their fear, like especially Leo DiCaprio. He's going 11 the entire time. He's so good in this movie. Yeah. I like him, but he's always at 11.
Yeah.
All of his emotions are at 11 all the time. Like, okay, Leo, can you just
levels,
every once in a while, just a little bit,
up and down.
Right, he's always just like fucking crazy, and he screams, and there's a shot of him just yelling Like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, yeah, that one.
Cuts.
Yeah, I'm like, Leo, relax, dude. It's the Revenant. Like, he
I
just
mean,
can't stop screaming.
In that moment,
Wolf of Wall Street,
we're
he's screaming a lot.
in that moment, all the hope of us being saved was gone.
Yeah.
So to be fair, I think any of us could have had that exact same visceral fucking reaction.
I'm trying to imagine another actor in that role, and I don't think they're going to be yelling as much as Leo. Leo yells in every single role he's in, whether it's Wolf of Wall Street, Revenant, whatever. He's always screaming at the top of his lungs, no matter what.
I love it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it makes him a great actor because his emotions are real. But it's like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just. I love you, Leo, but dude, just fucking stop screaming. Every line that you have is it's like he almost. I bet he like underlines where he could scream when he reads the script. Like, oh, this should yell. This should probably yell here. Spit should be flying. Snot coming out of my nose.
That's what got him Oscars.
Yeah, that's true.
For Oscar.
Anyway, Emily, what do you think about the movie?
So I overall liked this movie. I liked it. I think like some of the critics who didn't like it, they didn't like the jarring nature between the comedy and the drama. I feel that, but kind of the opposite of what some people were saying. I really liked a lot of the dramatic moments. I loved the tension and the raw emotion, and like this was a very genuine film. It was a very well acted film. I think all the performances were fucking great, both dramatic and comedic. But I think some of the comedy just didn't land, and some of it was so like, are we supposed to like it? It kind of undercut some of the serious messages of this movie.
Jonah Hill.
I liked Jonah Hill, honestly. It was some of the
He undercut like everything.
Yeah, I mean him doing Molly at like a very important
that
meeting.
to me
like
was
that,
funny.
I get how that would undercut, but
it was mostly the first post-credit scene, which we'll get into. I was like, that felt like an episode of South Park. It was
it did.
weird and out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
And also like some of the lyrics in Ariana Grande has a song in this movie. Some of the lyrics of the song, I'm like, is this an Idiocracy sketch? Like it felt
like a modern Idiocracy movie. Yeah,
absolutely. I think that's what I liked about it.
But it didn't blend well. And I think Adam McKay is like a master of comedy, but I think it was too like the humor of some of his earlier films, the broad, big kind of humor, and a lot of the smarts of some of his more recent films like Big Short and Vice, and it didn't mesh well for me.
For you.
Like it felt like disjointed, and also some of the humor attempts, I was like, oh, this is just really dated. Like some of the references toward modern culture, like the memes that they were using, I was like, that's a meme format that went out of style like 10 fucking years ago. Like it just immediately takes me out, where I'm like, that you didn't have anyone under the age of 30 on your staff that could have made a more modern meme.
Are you talking about the conference room after they do the rip
yeah,
show?
Exactly.
Yeah. No, you're right. I actually noticed that too. I'm like, these are like old format.
I didn't
memes.
think about that at all. I laughed at all.
Well, you're
of them.
old, and that's why.
Hey, I'm his age, all right, and I noticed it, all right.
You're younger at heart.
I am younger at heart.
That'll just be the running joke of this pod, is that I'm young and you two are old.
Yeah,
says the 30-year-old.
They both hit. Like I really liked that he went for both the really funny and sometimes really broad, but also sometimes really subtle and fucking funny. One of the ways that one like production element or editing style that I really, really liked, and he used it both to build drama and for comedy, is when he would cut someone off in the middle of a sentence or in the middle of a conversation. Yeah. So there was a lot of things like that in this movie that maybe the point of the scene, like when Leo's character and Jennifer Lawrence's character are first talking to their significant others on the phone, and there's kind of like rising tension in the conversation. It cuts back and forth between the two, but it always cuts in the middle of one of them like making a point. I thought that was fucking great. I thought that was a really cool choice. There's plenty of times where they did it in the middle of them having a conversation, whether it was mundane or important, but they would cut for comedic purposes, and it always worked for me.
Oh, let me be clear. A lot of this comedy really fucking worked for me.
And then the dramatic scenes, like for me personally, it wasn't too jarring between the two. I quite appreciated the uniqueness of the film in that it did that. And in my opinion, they pulled both of them off so well that it just worked for me. Like the dramatic scenes were dramatic enough and made me feel something. The comedic scenes made me actually laugh out loud. a number of different times. I got that.
laughed
I
a
got
lot,
both
too.
of that from the movie. So for me, like when it ended, like the 2 post-credit scenes were a little like you didn't really
why
need
are we
those.
doing this?
It made it a little slapsticky.
I loved it.
I can agree with that, but also like I didn't mind it because a lot of the movie got kind of absurd.
Like the ending scene where everybody's sitting at the dinner table was so like heartfult and dramatic, and then for the next scene to be naked Meryl Streep being eaten by an alien was very weird.
So for me though, it was like they ended the movie in a really like awesome, almost artistic way, but it's still a comedy at heart. Like I think mostly what it was felt like a comedy. So I'm not that surprised that they were like, hey, let's not let everyone have to sit in that heavy feeling like we.
But that's the whole point of the
movie
movie is to sit in that kind of heavy space and to reflect
and also to
on
laugh.
I do want to say
yeah.
that the end of the world montage that they had at the very end of the movie, that's probably the best comet like end of the world shit that's been done since Deep Impact, because that title it was pretty dope. But
I'm more of an Armageddon girl.
It's funny.
personally,
There's
but-
a shot of a couple having sex in that montage, and they didn't shoot that for the movie. They took that from Pornhub.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a Pornhub clip that they got permission to use.
I
in
hope
the
they
film.
paid those actors though.
Of course they did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course they did.
But yeah, they also like all those little transitionary clips throughout the movie where it's just kind of like showing like, oh, this is life on Earth in this moment.
Nature and innocence.
I
and
loved
kind of-
that.
Yeah,
That-
I liked that.
Like, I just keep going back to the word unique. It was such a unique movie, and I love when a movie breaks like the typical mold and it works. And I know it didn't work for everybody, but for me personally, like it broke the typical mold in a pretty sincere way. And I think for me, everything worked. I laughed. I almost cried a couple times, and I cried pretty easily, but still, I almost cried a couple times. And
I cried pretty easily, and I didn't cry in this one.
I didn't either.
I didn't
but-
feel a shed of emotion for the most part until the.
Yeah, but you're a fucking shell of a man.
The dinner sequence, though, I mean,
So
that
good.
was really good. And
Oh,
hearing like
especially
the table was
yeah.
rumbling, and Leo's line where he said like, "We really do have everything, don't we?" That was
Oh.
improvised. He completely improvised
Really?
that line. That wasn't in the script. Yeah, that was just like a moment where they were just
God,
sitting.
that like wrapped up everything so nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's just a line that you say when you appreciate everyone around you, and you're looking back at your life, and that's just a thing that he said out loud, and as an actor, because he was like in the moment. So
I respect him so much. Like, he really, really chooses his roles and wants to be super involved in every movie he's in. Like, even with Adam McKay, he was interested in doing the movie like right off the get, but it was like, I think it was like 8 months. Don't quote me. I didn't write it down, but there was like 8 months where he basically like didn't commit to doing the movie or being in the role, and just went back and forth rewriting with Adam McKay and like trying to get it to a point that he was comfortable with.
He's also
That's
been an
good.
environmentalist since way before it was cool.
very
too,
true.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, it's pretty nuts that they got this incredible cast of actors. I think there's about 40 Oscar nominations.
Yeah, right.
Between all those actors, where you have like Meryl Streep, which is the GOAT. You have Timothy Chalamet. I think he only has one Oscar nomination, right?
Yeah.
You have Leo, Jennifer Lawrence.
Both
then, like,
Oscar winners.
Yeah. Like, but Mark Rylance won an
Kate
Oscar.
Blanchett.
Kate Blanchett.
How
Kate
could you
Blanchett.
fucking forget Kate Blanchett? God, she's hot. in
She
this
was
movie.
great in this movie too.
She
Like-
was
great in
amazing.
everything.
No, but like I've never really seen her like this before.
She
where she was just
never
like being
misses.
sexy. I don't know. Is there a role of hers where she's like really trying to be like this? Like what?
Yes, definitely.
what
yeah.
am I
I'm also
missing?
like, she's sexy every day of her
No, but
fucking
she's
life.
like-
she's horny in this movie.
She's horny.
She's horny.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
There's
like
a
a side
difference
of her.
between sexy and horny.
That's what I meant to say. Horny.
Well,
Yeah.
to
but
guys, it's sort of like the more horny, the more sexy you are. I
Yeah,
guess. I don't
yeah,
know.
I mean, yeah.
I love Tyler Perry too.
He was the two of them together.
He's a great
so
actor,
good.
and it's funny. He he clearly has other big like priorities. He runs a studio in Atlanta or whatever.
Yeah.
But like when he's on screen, he's always a lovable guy. He's like a big teddy bear on
Yeah.
the screen, and
Yeah.
he's really great.
Very believable as like a morning news host.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they were
he-
both very believable.
Very
They were
believable.
So good.
Yeah.
Like Michael Shannon, like he kind of had that vibe.
Michael,
Shannon?
no.
No.
Stranahan?
Strahan.
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 That's
Michael
it.
Strahan.
Strahan.
I know sports.
He had that kind of vibe about him.
Yeah.
Which was great.
Yeah.
I liked.
Damn, Emily corrected me on a sports thing.
I
That's
know.
crazy.
So it's like
Well, he's
Michael-
also like he's a host now.
Also, Michael Shannon is a very different man.
yeah.
Put them side by side, please.
Yeah. I don't know.
See some similarities.
I see some similarities.
To talk about like the subtleties in the like obviously there's a lot of broad comedy too, but like little subtle things, if you really listen, were like all over the place. Like one of them was right when they showed them, what was it? What was the name of their News Morning thing?
The Daily Rip.
Daily Rip.
Yeah.
It was like the first shot you see of them sitting in Daily Rip, and it's kind of like the behind the scenes, like right before they're about to film. And you hear one person like remind the extras not to look into their eyes.
Yeah.
Like those little tiny things where it's like if you're still thinking about the last scene that just happened, or you're talking to someone you're watching the movie with, you would miss it. But it's like, all right, just a reminder: don't look Bree and Jack in the eyes.
Well, actually, that was for the Bash conference.
They were both.
It was both.
It was
yeah.
both
yeah.
too. Oh, that's funny.
There's also
for two different reasons. Yeah,
there's a bit after like it's clear that the comet's gonna hit Earth. You just hear someone in the background of the news going, "I'm gonna do an 8-ball."
Yeah,
yeah. I heard that too. That was hilarious.
There's so many little moments like that.
Timothy Chalamet gave a great performance. I
loved him.
We talked about this last week, I believe, when we were talking about Spider-Man. I take it back. Dude's fucking funny. Like,
he is funny.
Holy shit, he's funny.
He could have been Spider-Man.
He gave my favorite line.
Yeah.
Favorite line of 2021.
What's that?
Fucking love fingerling potatoes.
Oh, I also love the line, like the way that they met when she's like, whatever, steal the shit, I don't care. And he's like, yeah, we usually go like skate behind this thing. You should come hang out, you know, if you're not a fucking pussy.
You're not a fucking pussy.
yeah. Dude, he was
the way he delivered that line, I was like,
half beat, the like, if you're not a fucking pussy.
So apparently like
so
they're supposed to shoot production in April of 2020, and then when COVID hit, they pushed it to November or whatever. And so his long hair was real because he grew it out during COVID, and then Madam McKay just decided to not cut it.
Oh, it's perfect.
So it was going to be
character.
short when they were going to shoot in April, but then
he's a dirty little street punk.
He's
so
a little
perfect.
skater street punk. They were like, yeah.
I also read that the way they styled it and stuff was due to the Tiger King. It was inspired by Tiger King.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Kind of mullety.
Yeah.
Oh, also like he had like a army camo backwards hat too. That's pretty like Missouri or whatever.
They went Spider King with this shit.
Spider King?
Spider King? Wow.
Oop.
Cut that.
Another little fun fact I'll share right now is that so Jennifer Lawrence had a broken tooth the entire production.
Oh no.
And they had to digitally recreate one of her teeth for every scene that she was in.
Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah.
That poor artist.
Yeah, I know.
That's his one job. This whole production.
She actually got injured too near the end of the movie. I think in February there was like some scene with like broken glass and it went haywire and she got injured in that scene too.
Damn.
So she went through the ringer for this.
J-Law getting fucked up.
Did Nico? I know
she's getting bashed.
I know you watched the clip, Brent. Did you watch the clip of Jennifer Lawrence talking about Meryl Streep? So apparently on set, they kept calling her the GOAT, like Jonah Hill
greatest
and Jennifer Lawrence, greatest of all time. They kept calling her the GOAT, like, oh, the GOAT's gonna be over there. The GOAT's in this scene, blah blah blah.
Aww.
And apparently on like a photo shoot for a magazine or something, they were like, okay, yeah, GOAT's gonna. She's like, oh, yep, the old GOAT. And they were like, Meryl. You know the GOAT stands for greatest of all time, right? And she's like, oh no. She's like, you thought we were just calling you an old GOAT?
Yeah,
come on over here, you old goat.
The old
your
goat.
Time for your scene.
Meryl Streep. Just be like, oh, yep, the old goat.
The old
like,
goat.
okay.
Here I go. The old goat.
This is so wholesome.
Dude, she's so cute. I love Meryl Streep.
She's great.
She's great in this movie too. She's a stone cold bitch.
She was so wholesome in this role.
Fucking chain smoking president.
Yeah.
Jesus.
There was like it started kind of subtle, the like comparisons to like the Trump presidency, and then as it went along, they just got more and more broad and more broad. Like at the end when they're having the rallies, obviously like the don't look up, like very directly like aimed at Trump, but also like literally the way that they designed the don't look up signs.
Oh, absolutely.
They're like, let's just go all in on this parody.
Let's not make it subtle at all.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of critics were like kind of bashing on this movie was it was too on the nose. That's what a lot of people were saying. This is like it
was a little
not subtle, really on the nose.
I loved it.
I mean, I thought it was hilarious, but I mean, like I said, that's why Idiocracy worked for me so well, because everything was like really on the nose. This is why people are stupid. Like this is, I don't know, it worked for me.
Yeah, I think like that's just why like some of the like the criticism to the criticism are like, you just didn't get it, bro. I'm like, there's nothing to not get. It's very obvious.
Nothing's hidden. Nothing is hidden at all.
Nothing is subtle. Like, it's very clear. And like, it's okay if
the
you
movie
don't like
had
movies. That's fine.
had
but
an
like,
agenda for sure.
Yeah. I'm like, no. I definitely got it.
Yeah.
And that is one thing too, is like, I can understand why people on the political right might not enjoy this movie as much, because
totally.
they very directly point punches at that.
Yeah, they take the piss out of them.
But
take the piss?
If you,
I mean, take the piss.
Okay, good.
But it really was like.
Is that right?
Take the piss? Is that an Australian term or a British term?
Oh, thank God.
But what I liked about it is that, it's from Adam McKay, who made Vice, and like they're
Anchorman.
They're well right to prove my point exactly.
Forget about the dichotomy. Filmography.
It's not like it's not coming from a genuine place. Like I understand like the anger and wanting to take out some of the absurdity. I mean, if you can't look back at those 4 years, a lot of which are still continuing now, but if you can't look back at those 4 years and clearly see the political absurdity that our entire country was wrapped up in, like, if you can't look at that and look at that absurdity and laugh at the satire of it, then maybe you're still too entrenched in it, because it is laughable. And like, I like that they didn't pull any punches, and I like that they were as direct as they were, because for me personally, the more direct they were, the funnier it got to me, because it's like, it is real. It made it feel more real when it's like, oh, that's exactly what
pointed at us.
Yeah.
But like really pointed at us.
Yeah.
Like, hey, look, this is our society right now. This is what happened in the last 4 years.
I liked that.
And I like that too.
Sometimes the mirror for me got like a little too close. I'm like, okay, yes. Okay,
it really was.
And I can get that. I can understand that. But
that's why I liked it, because like it had the balls to kind of do that.
You love that mirror smashed into your nose.
But you have all these Oscar winners, and then like they just shove this fucking mirror in your face. I don't know. I respected the movie on that level. I thought it had a lot of balls to do something like that.
I do too. Sure. And I also understand why it rubbed people the wrong way. But
it was designed. It was designed to rub people the wrong way.
Yeah.
I
love specifically when they shit on Fox News. There's one thing specifically where it's like near the end, it's like, we're gonna talk about what everyone's talking about, and it was like topless medical centers or something.
Topless urgent care centers. Urgent care.
But that.
Which honestly sounds great. Let's do that.
But sign me up.
When all this crazy shit is happening, that was such a direct nod to like after January 6th, when all this crazy shit was happening and like Congress was meeting about it, and there's all these like really important things happening about our democracy. I checked Fox News constantly just to see if they were even talking about it.
I hope you had an incognito tab open.
No, I don't give a fuck.
Your algorithm is all fucked up now.
But they like purposefully weren't showing any of it. And I just remember thinking like, you're supposed to be the news, and you're not showing like one of the most important press conferences, like, or just Congress meetings that's on every channel, and you're the news, the most watched news program, and you're not showing it. Like that I just can't help but like, that's why I love so many of these references so much, is like that Patriot just being like, we're going to talk about what everyone's talking about. And it's like, okay, it's perfect. It's a perfect little nod.
I did also like the lens pointed towards the misogynistic nature of the news and everything, where like Jennifer Lawrence's character was like, oh, she's a crazy bitch, and then Leo's character's like, ooh, he's hot, oh my God. And it's like, and then they're like, well, the comet's named after you, so how can we trust you? It's like, oh my God.
Another direct to Trump nod, which I thought was hilarious, was so Jonah Hill's the president's son,
chief of staff.
Oh
yeah.
And how he was talking like, if you weren't my mom. I'm like, God, Trump literally said that about his daughter in an interview.
Yeah.
Like, God, it's not even made up. They're just,
it's too real.
It's just too real. It's satirical,
real,
but
man.
it's like so on the
Yuck.
nose.
Yeah.
The reason it's funny is because it's too on the nose and real.
Yeah.
I liked Ron Perlman's character.
Me too.
As well,
I was like,
oh
shit, he's in this fucking movie. I love Ron Perlman, man.
Insane,
dude. At the end,
he's shooting a machine gun.
At the comet. Dude, he was like my favorite character. He was
clearly
he's from another time. Like, I love all that shit. Like
when he's in the rocket, he's like, I love the Indians.
Yeah.
Both kinds.
Both guys.
I'm like, oh my God.
Why haven't they teamed up already? That would be pretty cool.
Yeah. Like it's coming from a good place,
Yeah.
but it's just so fucking
Yeah.
out of touch. I'm
God.
like,
It's so
from a
out of
different
touch.
time.
Yeah,
It's calling little kids
time.
pussies.
Says the guy who's like 80 years old. Like, you know, it's like that's the guy
Yeah.
who said it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude, Ron fucking Perlman, man.
He never misses.
Oh, it's so good.
So, Leonardo DiCaprio was an unattractive scientist in this. The hair and makeup department like tried their hardest to make him
That
sexless.
That beard at the
Sexless.
beginning is a crime.
Yeah, well, they tried so hard. Oh, and also that beard.
You should
was
have an
like-
Oscar taken away from you for that fucking beard. Ugh.
Yeah, they designed that beard to be gross. Like,
It looked like they just stuck it on. Like it looked like a
no,
Brillo
it was
pad.
threaded into his. It was little.
No, I know, but-
extensions.
But he had
Yeah.
like little gray bits or whatever, and then just this black Brillo pad stuck to
Yeah.
the end. It was
yeah,
atrocious.
yeah, like Surge from that one band. Surge.
System of a Down.
System of a Down.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
That
it definitely-
long
it-
beard.
yeah,
Yeah.
Search
Yeah.
taken.
Yeah. There you go.
There was a little thing. I watched the first half of the movie twice, just because I watched some of it at my mom's house during Christmas, then came back and watched the whole thing.
Mm.
There was a little thing at the very beginning that I noticed on second watch that I thought was really great. It was like the very opening scene where she's like about to discover the comet. There's a quick like qualifying shot of this poster on her wall that's it's like a spaceman on the moon, like looking back at the Earth, but there's a comet going towards it, and
Yeah.
it says, "Well, shit."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved that. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, what a nice little.
Also, love that she was listening to Wu-Tang.
Yeah,
That's what that was.
that
Yeah.
was a nice
thought that
like
was
glimpse into her character. Ain't
Yeah, a
nothing-
little bit.
Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with.
Right.
Yeah.
She knew
I mean,
every word of it.
yeah.
totally. And she doesn't like necessarily look like someone who's into Wu-Tang, but I thought that gave it like a lot of dimension to this person. Just because you think she listens to a certain kind of music, and a lazy writer would probably put in something like a little more, I don't know, like
Indie, maybe.
indie or something
Or
like that.
timely or something.
Right, something that wasn't Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
I love that it was kind of like a U-turn from her character because she has dimension.
And also when she's in the Oval Office the first time, she's wearing like black Doc Martens, and like her clothing had a lot of, added a lot of character to her.
Hey, thanks for
Totally.
dressing up.
Yeah, exactly. That fucking oh god, Jonah Hill was so good.
Boy
in
with
this
the
movie.
dragon tattoo.
I hated him.
So hateable.
Dude, so
he
hateable.
plays that exact type of role
He does.
so well.
He does.
Yeah, this was like the evolution of his, I think, kind of his Wolf of Wall Street character. Where you're
Yeah.
like, God, you are just scummy and
Slimy,
Awful.
scummy, witty, dumb piece of shit.
Cocky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Arrogant piece
It's
of
like-
shit.
Arrogant.
yeah. The CIA doesn't normally, or like the FBI doesn't normally put a bag over your head. The CIA does, but like
It was,
I had them do
I had
that
him
for
do
you.
it. It was cool and it was funny.
He's like, you
Gentleman.
can't come to the meeting. Okay, do you want to come? And like, just closes the door on her.
Watch out now.
I love all the save the manatees shit. And then in the end, she's like, whatever about the manatees, just look up.
Yeah.
I loved the running joke about the free snacks. The
Oh
yeah,
my
with
God.
The general.
That got funnier and funnier every time they brought
every
it up.
time,
Yeah.
every time.
That's like a classic Adam McKay thing,
That's
too,
what I
where
thought,
it's like
too.
the callback, the callback.
Callback.
But he did it. Each time he did it, you think she's talking about something else.
yeah, exactly.
Well, because she's so worried about the end of the world, and this little thing is
Just
bugging
keeps
her.
eating
Shit
it.
out
It's
of
eating her up, and it's like the most minute. What it cost her like $4,
$10.
$10, whatever. And it's like
She's like, I think he just gets off on the power, like any power. Why would he
Dude,
Why would he charge me $10?
that's a brilliant thing to add into this story.
God, it was so
It's
funny.
an it's an
funny.
Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Placed brilliantly too.
Yeah.
And in Act 2 and 3, the way that it's like played, the way that it's brought up is you always think she's talking about the end of the world, and all of a sudden there's like the reveal, and every time I was like, God damn it. I like
Yeah.
when Leo comes back to the house at the end, and like he's apologizing, and it's like, okay, well she's gonna forgive him because the world's about to end.
Yeah, but
Right.
also fuck him.
But what I liked was that when they were hugging, and she's like, when we were dating in college, I fucked Aaron Tran.
Yeah.
yeah.
He's
And
just
it was like, this
he's
is why
like,
she's a little more
oh.
quick to forgive. She's been carrying this
Yeah.
guilt around for
Right.
probably
Sure.
25 years,
Right.
and then she finally gets to like let it out, and they're like,
Right.
okay, well, I guess we both fucked up. Let's die together.
Yeah. So Leo and what's her name? Amanda, the actress who plays Leo's wife.
Oh, I don't know her name.
Oh.
I'm not sure.
Well, I mean, they both acted with Kate Winslet in Kate
Aw.
Winslet and Leo are in
They're
obviously Titanic
BFFs.
and Revolutionary Road, but also Peter Jackson's like first movie before like Lord of the Rings, Heavenly Creatures, was Kate Winslet and that actress, and they were like, you know, a couple, lesbian couple, very cute.
Gay?
They're gay.
Yes.
Have you not watched Heavenly Creatures?
No.
Peter Jackson's like, oh, okay. That was the movie that put him on the map.
Well, now that you say it's gay, I'm in.
Yeah, it's gay, man.
Producer? Melanie
Melanie
Linsky.
Linsky. Okay.
You weren't even close.
No, I was like Amanda.
Amanda and Melanie.
Bynes?
Those are like same genre
Yeah,
of name, I
there's
think.
an M. The M was sticking out in my head.
Yeah.
But all right, watermelon boats. What do you give
Well,
this?
did you have
Well,
a
we
shot?
got a
Oh.
What was the budget of this film?
Emily.
What was the budget
Okay.
of this here film?
I have
Fun
an
fact.
idea.
It was originally supposed to be a Paramount movie, and then
Yes.
Netflix bought it from Paramount.
Right. I knew that. And Netflix is so irresponsible with their money. They're in so
Or
much debt.
And I'm like,
Or responsible, because they're
No,
still the
no,
biggest
no.
streaming
Probably gonna
service.
be-
Their debt is climbing like crazy.
But they're still the most successful streaming service.
it's because they're. yeah.
What's successful to you? Profit? They're not making like much at all, actually.
That's how tech companies work, though. is they
Yeah,
work
I
in
mean
the
that's
red
very
for the
typical.
longest.
But also,
you also
they have the
have to-
biggest viewership, which I would
Yeah.
use as a barometer for success.
there's so many big stars in this movie, but then I'm also like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a straight to Netflix movie. However, it doesn't matter because
Bless you.
Lord of the Rings, they're doing a.
That's my thinking burp.
Burp directly into a mic. No.
Okay,
No reaction.
I have a fucking number. I have a fucking
Too
number.
comfortable on this podcast.
It's almost like we like each other. Okay, I'm gonna start by drawing
I
the
hate both
dollar
of you.
sign.
Love you too, bud. I'm going to start by drawing the dollar sign.
Yeah.
I'll give you a hint. It's in millions.
Oh shit!
Oh, thank you.
Oh wow! I did 125 million.
I did 65.
God damn it. Nico won again.
God damn
I
it!
knew it.
75 mil.
Yes, I was gonna do 85. I was like right in the middle, actually, which is crazy.
Everybody's so fun. I'm like, how much does Meryl Streep make per movie? Because it's got to be a lot.
You have
And
to think
Leo-
that this is a Netflix
Okay,
movie.
we have a special edition on the pod. The producer has
Producer
created.
Ryan.
Shit.
He's gonna bring it up.
The shop that messed up. Hopes and dreams.
We now have.
Don't block the lens.
We now have a wheel. I will spin it for real.
I love you. Thank you so much. Don't block the lens.
Thank you, producer Ryan.
Thank you, producer.
Thank you, producer
Look
Ryan.
at this thing.
Okay, I'm gonna need y'all to let me know what I land on.
Spin it.
We like the noise.
And
Apple pie. I always get the apple pie.
pie.
You're lucky. It's just candy.
Yeah.
A lot of these things are candy-ish. There's different flavors of candy.
Yeah, 85 or 75. That makes sense to me. That it's. I mean, there was a lot of digital effects in this movie, but a lot of it was just stock footage. You know,
That's true. That
a
is
lot
true.
of it
There
was
was a lot of
stock.
stock footage.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I did think that.
I think I just have no concept of what a movie costs. I
don't
always guess
think
way
so.
over.
Yeah, you're always over.
I mean, it's also. It felt like the budget was higher, not only from the cast, but also like the CGI parts that they did. I thought they did a really good job of. Like the
Jennifer
common-
Lawrence's tooth. Like that.
That cost some money.
That's $10 million in and of
Yeah,
itself.
that's a whole team of
That's an
people.
expensive tooth.
Yeah.
I wonder if like the budget for the actors wasn't astronomically high because like, hey, there's a whole
The
lot of us
subject
signing
matter.
on,
Yeah.
and the subject matter. I'm sure a lot of them wanted to be a part of the movie, but
Totally.
like, hey, there's a whole lot of you signing on. We can't give everyone all of the money, or we're not going to have this incredible cast. Like, are you
It's
guys
like,
all
wait,
willing to take
Leo
a little bit less?
and Adam McKay, like they probably everyone on the fucking set probably loved Vice. Meryl Streep signs on. Timothy, I want to work with Meryl Streep, although I don't think he ever shared screen time with her. But anyway, I felt it was like this ripple effect. Like once you got Leo and Adam McKay,
Mhm.
everyone else kind of fell into place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watermelon boats?
Let's do it. Brent,
Go ahead.
this is actually a hard one.
Yeah.
I know 21 would be so much better. I give it 17 watermelon boats out of 21.
Just
No,
do
out
it
of-
out of 10,
Out of
dude. You're
10.
ruining
Just
the
wanted to see
segment.
how bad you can get.
Okay.
8 watermelon boats.
I'll do 7.
Yeah, I'm going to go 7. I
Yeah.
think.
I really enjoyed the movie, but to get to 8, I have to like fucking love the movie.
Yeah.
A little bit, like love it, but
Mhm.
I liked it a lot. Liked it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. It's
I
very
loved it.
funny. Watch it.
I watched it 1.5 times.
I'll definitely watch it again at some point.
1.5?
I watched the
You
first
started
half.
it
I fell
yesterday?
asleep,
Oh,
and
okay.
then I watched it again with Christina all the way through. So
Thanks
that's
for
it,
watching.
everybody.
Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.
Like
We'll
and
see you next
subscribe.
week.
Love you. If you made it to the end, congratulations.
Appreciate it.